When people see neon, it creates an excitement, optimism, enthusiasm. It's a welcoming factor. I think that people don't necessarily, they wouldn't necessarily articulate how neon makes them feel, but there's something kind of magical about it.
My name is Will Durham. I'm the director of the Nevada Neon Project, and we're a nonprofit group that is dedicated to the preservation, interpretation, documentation, and exhibition of vintage neon signs. I've been preserving and exhibiting signs for about 23 or 24 years. It didn't start off as a serious project. I wanted a couple of these neon signs when they were coming down. And then I happened to start when a lot of really historic properties were closing in Reno, like the Mapes and Harold's Club, Nevada Club, Parker's Western Wear. And I was just kind of in the right place to start preserving these. And then the more that I started preserving, I started realizing that it was actually important, that these really told our history and that they should be preserved. And I started really thinking that these should be in a museum, that these should be interpreted and seen by future generations, because it was a very exciting time in Nevada's history, and I think that it's something that people should be able to experience for themselves. And so just because these iconic businesses and places have closed, it doesn't mean that their memories shouldn't live on, and we can do that through these gorgeous neon signs. There's nothing passive about preserving these things. It's hard, it's difficult, it's expensive, it's really not a fun process, but what we are able to preserve, we feel is really worthwhile, and that it should be seen by future generations. So all the hard work that we're doing now is with the eventual goal of a neon museum here in Reno.
So this is the old Horseshoe Casino. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we'll be able to preserve this sign in the near future. And so just wondering how that will go. We'll probably have to shut part of Virginia Street down, and so it'll be another kind of crazy adventure in preservation. Well, also with this one, you kind of have to figure out what can actually be preserved, because the giant horseshoe, as much as we would like to preserve it, it's just too big. And I don't know any feasible way to reinstall it. I mean, it would probably cost $1 million to redo this sign. So you kind of have to choose. And so, the lettering, the horseshoe lettering, of course, that's the most prominent part of the sign. So we'll save that, and then, probably save a lot of the neon horseshoes. But unfortunately, the larger portion of the sign we'll have to let go, just because it's, it'd be prohibitively expensive to save it. So you kind of have to make those hard decisions. We won't be able to hang on to the legacy of the casino, but we'll have the sign, so it's better than nothing, I guess. I do feel very personally attached to the signs, like they are my babies, like that it's my job to protect them. And so I do take it very personally when they are destroyed without warning or they're damaged. So I do feel very invested, and I do want to shepherd them into a safe place.
Nevada always tries to be something new, and a lot of times that's at the expense of our history. And so, we'll kind of, look for the next big thing to keep tourists here, and that's a lot of what we have to do to survive. But we lose a little bit of our collective history with that. And so I think that this is a part of our history that really needs to be told. The characters that helped shape the area, their stories should be known. And I think that this is an asset for Reno and for Nevada. That this is something that we should capitalize on. That this is something that we have. We're able to appreciate our history and our cultural heritage, and we can actually share that. And it can be something that doesn't weigh us down, but actually propels us forward.